in the Philippines. Now, then you have the money laundering. I'll just give you sort of overview of money laundering because we have a separate subject or separate discussion money laundering in special crime investigation. Now, so what is money laundering? Actually, this is under RA 9160. No? If you change this 0 to 5, that is drugs already. 9165, drugs na yan. So kung 9160, that is money laundering. So what is money laundering? It's a crime whereby the proceeds of unlawful activity are transacted, making them appear to have originated from legitimate sources. So actually, if you're going to dissect the term money laundering, money, pera. Laundering means nilaban mo, nilinisan mo. Kasi ang concept ng money laundering, ganito lang yun. Merong dirty money, nilaban mo para maging clean money. Okay? Paano siya naging dirty money? Dirty money siya kasi proceed siya sa isang unlawful activity. Like from robbery, from corruption, from drugs, from kidnapping. Those are unlawful. Those are predicate crimes or unlawful activity na money laundering. Ang proceeds doon, yung pwera na kuha mo doon sa unlawful activity na yun or predicate crimes, ay tinatawag ng dirty money. Para malaban mo siya, you transact it. Transacted. How? Money transfer. Binili mo ng chip sa casino, binili mo ng alahas, okay, nilagay mo sa bangko, binili mo ng house and lot. So those are transaction. Making them appear to have originated from legitimate sources. So yan yung concept ng money laundering. Na ito, how Bangladesh Bank dirty money, ito yung money laundering. Ito yung dirty money from proceeds of unlawful activity easily got into PH. Oh, it is said to be the biggest money laundering scandal to hit the Philippines. It is said to be the biggest money laundering scandal to hit the Philippines. Okay, ano nangyari yan? Well, ang Bank of Bangladesh, meron silang bank account sa New York Reserve, Federal Reserve. Nahack yun. Nahack yung New York bank na yun, nahack. Nakuha ang 100 million US dollars. Okay, US dollars. Ang 81 million napunta sa Pilipinas. Okay? Transfer dito sa RCBC. Ito, si Maya Diquito, siya yung manager ng RCBC. Then he asked a friend na mag-open ng bank account, 2 bank accounts, para ma-withdraw yung pera at pinalitan sa PhilRem, Philippine Remittance. Nung makonvert na siya into peso, nilagay sa casino. Dito, nilagay sa nilaro-laro. Para kung tanongin, saan galing yung pera mo? Nanalo ako sa casino. O, yun yung money laundering, no? So, merong, actually, parang robbery online to. Nakuha yung 100 million US dollars, yung 81 million na punta sa Pilipinas. So, that was a dirty money. Ito yung dirty money. Nilagay sa bangko, withdraw, pinalitan ng peso, nilagay sa casino, that is money laundering. It is money laundering. And so far, that's the biggest money laundering case in the Philippines. No? So, now, in money laundering kasi, if you deposit 500,000 in a day, for example ako, mag-deposit ng 500,000 sa isang bangko, ang gagawin ng bangko, magre-report ng sa AMLAC. Okay? Mag-report sa AMLAC. So, anong sabi ng AMLAC? Anong sabi ng bangko? Certain Edward Magluco deposited 500,000. Yan. Because that is covered transaction. Covered transaction yan. Ay kailangan i-report yan. Kaya anong ginagawa na iba para hindi ma-report? O sa ampon, meron kang 500,000 ngayon. Anong gagawin mo para hindi ka ma-report? Okay? Mag-hire ka ng smurfing. Mag-hire ka ng smurf. Or smurfing ang gawin mo. Anong smurf? So if you have money, you ask 4 person, itong mga smurf na to example, 500,000 yung pera mo, you ask them, you deposit this to my account, no? Pero, ano mo yan, i-divide mo yan. So, probably 125,000, no? 100 each, 125,000 each. So, hindi na sila ma-report kasi hindi umabot ang 500,000 yung transaction. So, ang tawag yan, smurfing. Smurf. Actually, yung mga smurf, yan yung mga runners. Okay? So, yan yung smurf, no? They will divide the money para hindi ma-report. then they will deposit that to the bank separately. Ito yung mga runners. No? Now, then you have RA 10591. Ano itong 10591? This is Comprehensive Firearms Ammunition Regulation Act. Ano, ito yung bagong law natin sa firearms. And under this law, hindi na arm trafficking ang tawag dito, but arms smuggling. Okay? Arms smuggling. Ito yung bagong definition ng batas, arms smuggling. So, what is arms smuggling? This refers to importation, exportation, acquisition, sale, delivery, mode of transfer of firearms, their parts, or components, and ammunition from across the territory of one country to another. So, kaya nga, smuggling yan kasi it involves from one territory to another country which has not been authorized in accordance with domestic law in either or both country or country. So, pag nagdala ka ng firearms dito galing USA sa Pilipinas, that is arms smuggling. Okay, that's arms smuggling. Basta walang pahintulot, walang permit. It is not in accordance with domestic law. Pero kung may permit naman, pwede naman yun, walang problema. Dito lang yung walang mga permit. No? Kasi kailangan regulated to eh. So ito, 2 gun smuggling suspect nabbed in Bacolod. So actually, ito yung guns na to, galing USA ito. Okay, pinadala papuntang Bacolod. Pero bago dumating sa Bacolod yan, dadaan mo na yan doon sa Manila. Kasi wala namang barko na direkta from USA to Bacolod. No? So dumaan ng Manila. Pag Manila, galing sa Manila, pupunta ng Bacolod. Ngayon, tumawag ang Home Defense ng USA sa authorities dito sa Pilipinas, nagbigay ng tip. May package dyan, darating, ang laman niyan ay firearms. Okay? So, nung dumating yung package, inabangan ng CIDG, chinek nila, firearms nga. Pero hindi na pinastop doon. They conducted what we call control delivery. Okay, control delivery. So, dineliver pa nila sa Bacolod. Okay, yung package na yun. Pero yung CIDG, nagkunwari ng empleyado ng isang forwarding company. Okay? Then, when someone pick it up, kinuha ng isang, actually, doktor to, at saka yung driver niya, kinuha ng isang doktor at saka ng driver yung package, hinuli na lang yung dalawa. Okay? And allegedly, sabi ng driver, gagamitin na itong firearms na to sa pagpatay kay Duterte, pag-assassinate kay President Duterte. I don't know if it's true. So, this is sometime on 2016 na kaso. No? So, let's go to question and answer. Here, we'll try to answer some questions in application to the topic that I have discussed. Example. Number 1. These are crimes which are committed involving several states or countries which exceeds borders. So, several states, country exceeds borders. So, yan yung keyword natin. So, is it A, transnational crime? B, o C, political crimes? B, global crimes? D, cyber and technology crime? So, this is, of course, transnational crime because it exceeds borders. It involves several states. Okay? So, transnational crime yan. 2. While a Japan aircraft was being serviced at the airport of South Korea, Juan, an Iranian residing in Iraq, pointed a pistol at 2 pilots who were eating in the restaurant and ordered them to take him to the plane to Damascus, Syria. So, Japan aircraft from South Korea, yung plane dinala sa Damascus, Syria. The pilots obeyed and flew him to Damascus, Syria. Months later, Juan was recognized at Manila International Airport and was arrested. So, Manila siya na-arrest doon. Okay? Manila International Airport. Now, can hijacker be tried in the Philippine court for violation of second paragraph of section 1 RA 6235? Is it letter A? No, because 1 did not seize controlled foreign aircraft while it is within the Philippine territory. B, yes, because 1 compelled the pilots to change his destination or route. C, no, because the aircraft was not yet considered in flight. D, yes, because 1 was arrested in the Philippines. So the answer here is, of course, yung letter A. Remember, the aircraft is Japan aircraft. Saan nangyari ang krimen? South Korea dinala sa Damascus, Syria. Wala tayong pakialaman dyan. It is not triable in the Philippines. Because 1 did not seize control of foreign aircraft while it is within the Philippine territory. Okay? So, wala tayong pakialam dyan. Now, ito. Another scenario. Eric boarded the plane at Ninoy Aquino International Airport. So, na iya na gusto lang gawing papapi, bound for Dumaguete City. So, pagpunta ng Dumaguete City yun. While the plane was still on tarmac, is door still open? So, ito yung keyword na the door is still open. And waiting for the last passenger to board, Eric or the pilot at gunpoint to take the plane to Cebu. Instead of going to Dumaguete, gusto niyang dalhin yung plane sa Cebu. When pilot refused, Eric shot him to death. So, binaril ni Eric yung piloto. What offense or offenses did Eric committed? Is it A, only the crime of murder because the plane was not yet considered in flight, because the door were still open waiting for the last passenger to board? B, crimes committed are proceed coercion murder because when the crimes were committed, the plane was not in flight as the doors were still open for embarkation. C, special complex crime hijacking with murder because the law specially provides. Or D, special complex crime of hijacking with murder because the murder was committed on occasion of hijacking and specially provides for its punishment. The answer here is, of course, yung letter B. The crime committed is prostrated coercion and murder, dalawa. Bakit? The aircraft or the plane is not yet in flight. So, you cannot consider hijacking here. Kasi nga, the door is still open. Ito yung keyword. The door is still open. Okay? Four. What if the plane was already in the sky? So, in the sky. So, in flight na, no? Eric points a gun to the pilot, ordering him to take the plane to Cebu City. While the other companion with conspiracy raped a beautiful flight attendant. Na-rape yung flight attendant. What offense did Eric commit? Is it A, special complex crime hijacking with rape? Because the rape necessarily means in committing hijacking. B, special complex crime hijacking with rape because rape was committed on occasion of hijacking and special law provides for its punishment. C, two crimes of hijacking and rape because rape is not necessary means of committing hijacking. D, two crimes of hijacking and rape because there was two separate and distinct acts and hijacking and rape is punished by two separate and distinct laws. So, ano sabi ko kanina? Basta you commit hijacking and also you commit rape, there's only one crime and that is special complex crime hijacking with rape. Because the rape was committed on occasion of hijacking and a special law, yung RA 6235, provides for its punishment. It specifically provides for its punishment. So, this is special complex crime hijacking with rape. Number 5. Osay boarded the plane at Manila Domestic Airport bound for Davao City. So, pamuntang Davao City. While the plane was still on tarmac, all its doors are closed. So, ito yung keyword natin. The door are closed for embarkation. He point a gun at the pilot and ordered the latter to take the plane to Singapore. When the pilot refused, gusto niya dalhin yung plane sa Singapore. When the pilot refused, Jose shot him, causing the latter instantaneous death. Okay. What offenses did Jose committed? So this time, the door is already closed. So, in flight na to. So, is it letter A, hijacking of aircraft because plane is already considered in flight? B, coercion with murder because he forced pilot to change destination. Murder only, letter C, because coercion is inherent in the crime of murder. Or two crimes of murder and hijacking because the two crimes are separate and distinct from each other. So, in flight na yan, so there's only one crime and that is hijacking. It could be special complex crime hijacking, okay, or hijacking, no? Because the aircraft is already in flight because all external doors are closed na. Okay? Let's go to number 6. What if in the situation above, the aircraft is Japan Airlines na, unregistered under the Philippine law. But remember that it happens in Cebu, and it happens in Cebu going to Singapore, no? And the pilot hijacker is also Japanese. Does Philippine law have jurisdiction? Actually, ang sagot dito, still yes. Because the crime happened within our territory. Okay? So, although it's Japan Airlines, pero nangyari siya sa Pilipinas pa rin, Cebu to Singapore. May nangyari sa Pilipinas. So, that is still cognizable in the Philippines. 7. What if, in the same occasion of hijacking as narrated above, the hijacker rape a flight stewardess? So, nang rape pa rin, no? They take advantage of hijacking, nang rape sila, ng flight stewardess, and assaulted a passenger. So, physical injury to. Ang rape pa, may physical injury pa. What offense or offense did Jose commit? So, the best answer here, no? Is it A, a complex crime hijacking with rape and physical injury? B, three separate and distinct crimes, hijacking, rape, and physical injury? C, only hijacking because other crimes are necessary in committing the crime of hijacking? D, special complex crime hijacking because other crimes are absurd. No, the best answer here is complex crime hijacking with rape. Special complex crime hijacking with rape sana. Pero this is the best, no? Complex crime hijacking with rape. You know why? Okay, bakit hindi? Okay, ito hindi na to, no? Three separate and distinct crimes, hindi na yan. Because there's only one crime there, hijacking lang. Okay? Bakit hindi ito, only hijacking? This is wrong. Necessary or committing the crime, that is not the rule. Now, tama sana ang special complex crime, but the problem, the word absorb, this makes it wrong. Hindi absorption principle to eh. This is a special complex crime because a specific law provides for its punishment. Okay, so the best answer will be letter A. 8. Traffic person shall be recognized as victim of acts of trafficking and such shall not be penalized of crimes directly related to acts of trafficking. The statement, again, no, pag merong wholly true, wholly false, partially true, partially false, ito, A case na to. Wala na yan. Your choices is between wholly true and wholly false. Okay? And letter 8, number 8 is, the statement there is 100% true. Okay? Because if you are a victim of human trafficking, hindi ka pwedeng kasuhan ng any crime related to the act of trafficking. Hindi ka pwedeng kasuhan because you are considered victims. Okay? A traffic person shall be recognized as victims. I will discuss this in special crime investigation in next subject probably. 9. It involves activities that violate laws of more than one country. So, ito ang keyword yun. Violate laws of more than one country. Such as money laundering, terrorist activities, illicit trafficking in arms, environmental crimes, illicit drug trafficking. So, this is very knowledge-based. No? Memory recall lang ito. So, is it A, organized crime? B, syndicated crime? C, transnational crime? D, national crime? So, most, the best, or the answer here is, of course, transnational crime. Okay? It's committed by more than one country. Committed more than one country. 10. The United Nations define transnational crime as offense with the following elements, except, so, ang tanong dito, alin dyan ang hindi element ng transnational crime? Alin dyan ang hindi element ng transnational crime? Letter A, it is committed in more than one state. B, it is committed in one state but substantial part of its preparation, planning, direction, control takes place in another place. C, it is committed in one state but has substantial effect in another state. D, it is contrary to the interests of humankind. Okay? So, the answer here, of course, is letter D. This is not, exception kasi, this is not element of transnational crime because this is an element of international crime. Okay? International crime to. This is an element of international crime, contrary to the rest of humankind. 11. It's an act of using runners to perform multiple financial transactions to avoid currency reporting para hindi ma-report ng sa AMLAC o Anti-Money Laundering Council. Kaya gumagamit sila ng runners. To what? To perform multiple financial transactions. Mag-deposit sa bangko, iba't ibang tao. Ang tawag natin yan is mga smurf or smurfing. Smurfing sila. 12. This refers to crimes that have potential effect across national borders. Effect across national borders. This is also called crimes without borders. Crimes without borders. Anong tawag natin dyan? Letter A, international crimes. B, transnational crime. C, cross-country crime. D, organized crime. So this is transnational crime because it crimes beyond borders. Beyond borders yan. 13. The United Nations Declaration on Strategy Against Transnational Crime is, discuss ko ito sa inyo kanina, no? The United Nations Declaration of Strategy Against Transnational Crime is the Palermo Convention. The Hague Convention is permanent court or arbitration. So, kung may dispute yung dalawang country, itatryan dito sa permanent court of arbitration. Okay? Yung Berlin Convention naman, ito yung regulated European colonization. So, dito sa Berlin Convention, nagkasundo yung mga European countries na hindi na sila mag-invade sa mga lugar sa Africa. No? Kasi, talamak noon yung colonization sa Africa. So, yan yung Berlin Convention. Ang Tokyo Convention naman, ito yung offenses certain certain other act committed on board aircraft. So, ito yung hijacking. Hijacking yan ng Tokyo Convention. 14. Which in following is not an element of hijacking? Ano dyan hindi element? Letter A, aircraft is in flight. Aircraft is Philippine registry. Intent to gain. Change of destination. So, ang hindi element dyan is yung intent to gain. Hindi ito element sa hijacking. Kasi kahit yung intent to gain, hindi naman element yung intent to gain yan sa hijacking. No? Because element dyan, of course, yung in-flight, Philippine registry, change of destination. Those are elements. No? 15. Eddie earned 100 million in illegal drug trade. So, kumikita siya ng 100 million sa illegal drug trade niya, no? He's planning to retire anytime soon. So, he thought of investing his money in stock market, making time deposit with banks, engage in buy and sell of luxury vehicle, and buying gold as investment. He was never convicted of illegal drug trade. Can he be liable under money laundering? Pwede ba siyang makonbikto sa money laundering? Okay? And then, no. Because conviction of predicate crime is an essential element of money laundering. Ang predicate crime dito, ito yung illegal drug trade. Okay? B, no, because he invested his money in legitimate financial institution which is recognized by law. Letter C, yes, because conviction of predicate crime is not essential elements of money laundering. Okay? Hindi elements ang conviction sa predicate crime sa money laundering. Letter D, yes, because the money is from illegal drug trade. The best answer here is yung letter C. Because conviction of predicate crime is not essential elements of money laundering. Okay. Kahit na hindi ka makonbikto ng illegal drug trade, pero pag hindi mo ma-explain yung wealth mo, saan galing yung perang pina-invest mo sa stock market? Yung time deposit mo? Yung i-ansel mo ng luxury vehicle, saan galing yan? Pag hindi mo ma-justify yan, pwede ka pa rin kasuhan ng money laundering. Conviction in a predicate crime is not an essential element. Okay? And that is not an essential element. Okay, so I guess that's the last portion of my discussion on transnational crime.